Hey YouTube, I've got a Ford F-150 Lariat. This one's a 2010, and today we've got a customer complaint where the HVAC or climate control system isn't directing airflow to any place other than the defrost and floor mix position. It's gotten kind of warm here in Alaska, and by warm I mean 74 degrees. And the customer would like to have air blown out of the front vents. Anyway, the button here seems to be working. You know, you hit the button here and the mode changes, or at least it thinks it changes, but the airflow doesn't seem to move at all when you hit the different modes here. It seems to be stuck, like I said, in the defrost floor mix position, which is where the customer generally has it, I guess. This is a pretty common complaint on these trucks, and fortunately it's a pretty quick fix. You might have to get under the dashboard a little bit, but this is definitely a job that a DIY or do-it-yourselfer can do. So we'll go ahead and show you how to do this. Okay, so if you've got a mode door that's not working, the first place you want to look on one of these F-150s is under the dashboard, driver's side. And I'll try to get the camera up in here where you can see. It is located kind of above the gas pedal assembly. And right back here, kind of behind the gas pedal assembly, you'll see this wire loom right here, and that wire loom is connected to the mode door. I'm going to go ahead and take part of the dash panel apart so that you can get a better view here. Okay, so the part that we're concerned with is right here. Kind of hard to see, but there it is in the light. That's the mode door actuator, and we're going to go ahead and pull this unit out. Okay, so the first thing we need to do to work on this is to, this is the gas pedal right here, is to remove the three 13mm bolts. If you've got a truck that has the adjustable pedals, there is a power connector up here. Oh, of course, space is so tight in here, I don't know if I can get a good view of it. But right where my index finger is, there's a power connector there that you want to disconnect. This will get you a little bit more room. But anyway, you don't have to worry about the accelerator position sensor. You can just leave that all plugged in. You definitely want to remove the power pedal plug. So it's just these three 13mm bolts. I'm going to go ahead and do those right now. I've got a power tool here, so if you got headphones on, you may want to turn your volume down. Just like that, the gas pedal drops down. I'm going to go ahead and remove that plug that I talked about just a second ago. That allows the gas pedal assembly to drop even further. And from here, that gives us just enough space to get at the actuator. Let me adjust the camera here and we'll get back to you. Okay, so this is the mode door actuator. It's held in by two 8mm screws. Here's one that's visible here, and there's another one at the top about where the tip of my middle finger is. This is the connector that you want to disconnect. So we'll go ahead and pull down on the red tab, like so. Sometimes those tabs fall out. That's okay. Once the red tab is pulled down, you can push on this release tab right here, and the connector usually just comes right off. We'll go ahead and put that aside, get it out of our way, and we'll go ahead and remove those two 8mm screws. There's one, and there's two. Forgive me if I'm kind of being clumsy here. I'm working basically around the camera, and the actuator just comes off just like that. Okay, once you've got the actuator removed, something you might want to do is just make sure that the mode door is actually not stuck. Sometimes these doors fall apart, and if that's the case, then you have a world of headache ahead of you because you've got to take the whole dashboard apart. But in many cases, you can basically rotate the mode door into the various positions. As you can see here, I'm just kind of reaching around with my fingers and making sure this thing spins back and forth. So we're good to go here. No problem with the mode door. Good, solid, steady movement. I don't hear any broken bits. I can hear the door moving back and forth as I move this. So we can go ahead and prep the new part. Okay, so this is the part that I got from my Ford dealership. That's the part number, 8L8Z19E616C. Don't be alarmed. That doesn't necessarily match the part number that's on the part itself. As you can see here, it's 8L84. But you just want to make sure that you got the same part. Here's the old one. Here's a new one. Same part. Pretty much the same thing here. Everything looks good to go. And pretty easy job here. Just put it in place of the original one and tighten the two screws. We'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, well, forgive the noise in the background. It's 5th of July and people are still celebrating America. So anyway, these the actuator motor here is keyed a certain way, and you may have to twist it in the hole here until you get it to where it'll slide in. Like so. I don't know if you saw that, so I'll go do it again. So you basically want to get the splines lined up. Once the splines are lined up, then you can rotate the motor around until it lines up with its screw holes. And we'll go ahead and thread this back into place. There's that one there. And the top one, it's a little difficult to see on camera, but you can certainly feel for it. All right, loud power tool again. These only need to be put in very lightly. You don't need to crank on them, so I'll go ahead and do that here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and follow up with a hand ratchet so I know I'm not over torquing this. I just want to go a little snug. Okay. Just snug. Okay. Okay, that's all. The more it needs to be tightened. We'll go ahead and plug the connector back in. As you can see here, I just push the red locking piece back in. And we'll go ahead and push the connector in. Once the connector locks, then you can push the red locking tab back in. And from here, we're just going to put the gas pedal back together. Basically, reverse of how you removed it. All right, so let's go ahead and get the camera set up here. All right, get everything lined up. Okay, I'm making this look a lot more difficult than it really is, and that's just simply because I'm working around a camera and trying not to bump it off the tripod here. You should be able to get this job done in 5 minutes or so if you've got all the correct tools. So 13mm socket required for these 3 bolts. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and thread them in by hand. So we don't want to cross thread anything. So I'll go ahead and do this video in pretty much real time here so you can see that it doesn't really take a whole lot of time. Oh, I'm sorry, bumped the light here. I'm just threading these in by hand to get them started, just so we know we're not cross-threading anything. Okay, we're good. Power tool. Okay, there's 1, there's 2, 3. Follow up with a hand ratchet so that I can snug them down properly. Oops. Alright. Just like the other bolts, you just want to make sure they're snug. Alright. Okay, gas pedal's in. Plug that connector in for the power pedal, if equipped. Alright, now we're done. Okay, and like everything else, once we're done installing the parts, we verify that we've fixed the problem. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the ignition to the on position, fire up the climate control system. I'll turn the fan down a little so that it's not so loud in here. And right now we're in the defrost floor mix position, so I'm going to go ahead and put my hand up here and yep, we've got airflow at the defrost vents, and we should have, yep, we got airflow in floor vents. So I'm going to go ahead and switch modes here and make sure it switches. All right, we got the front panels now. Nothing really coming out of the defrost and nothing coming out of the floor vents. So let's just go to the mix position for the front panel vents and the floor vents. We still got airflow down here. We've got airflow at the floor vent. So let's go all floor vent. Nothing at the panel. Got more airflow at the floor, and we shouldn't have anything up top. Nothing really coming out of the top. So finally, let's check the defroster and make sure that that's working properly. Yep. Yep, plenty of air at the top. Nothing really coming out of the bottom, and nothing coming out of the front panel. We'll go ahead and go back to the front panel, make sure it switches back. Alright, we're back at the front panel. So we can consider this job done. Pretty easy. It wasn't even that expensive of a part to put in. And yeah, it should cost you about $50 for the part, maybe less. I'll provide a link to an online supplier so that you can go ahead and purchase it. Anyway, I hope this video helps. Please give it a like if you liked it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe so that you can see more content like this. Anyway, hope you all had a happy 4th, and we'll see you next time.